Okay, so today we are diving into something pretty interesting. Looks like we've got some notes here about a Tesla Model Y, and well, the potential savings are kind of wild.
Yeah, when you start layering these credits and rebates, the numbers can get pretty eye-catching.
It says here Colorado, so I guess we're talking about buying one in Colorado, and it looks like someone's really done their homework on how to get this thing for way cheaper.
Sounds like a plan. Let's see if we can break down what they've got here.
All right, so first off, we're starting with a Model Y at, let me see, $46,990. Okay, so that's our baseline.
Yeah, gotta start somewhere.
Then there's this inventory discount, $3,290.
Okay, so that's a chunk off the top already. Inventory discounts can be a good deal if you're flexible on the exact configuration.
All right, and then, oh wow, a $7,500 federal tax credit. So is that just like free money from the government?
Well, not exactly free. It's a tax credit, so it depends on your tax liability. You can only claim up to the amount of taxes you owe.
Okay, so it's not like they just hand you a check for 7 grand after you buy the car.
Right, exactly. Still, a significant chunk of change if you can use the full credit.
For sure. And on top of that, there's a state EV rebate here, $5,350. So that's on top of the federal one.
Exactly. States often have their own incentives to encourage EV adoption.
Wow. Okay. So with the inventory discount, the federal credit, and the state rebate, that's already, hold on, let me get my calculator out. That's like $16,000 off.
Yeah, it adds up quickly, but remember, those big numbers often come with some fine print.
Oh, yeah. Good point. What should people watch out for with these?
With the federal tax credit, the main thing is making sure you have enough tax liability to claim the full amount. And for the state rebate, there are usually some eligibility requirements, might be based on income, residency, things like that. And sometimes those rebates have expiration dates too, so you got to be on the top of it.
Okay. So it's not as simple as just, I bought an EV, where's my money?
Right. Definitely not a bad idea to do a little research, make sure you understand the details.
All right. So we're already at a pretty sweet price, but the notes say there's more. Two referral discounts here, one for $5,000 and another one for $500. Wait, so you can stack referral discounts?
Sometimes, yeah. Some manufacturers allow that.
So, like, if you know someone who already owns a Tesla, they can give you a code or something.
Usually how it works, yeah. But referral programs can be a bit of a mixed bag. Some companies have limits on how many referrals you can use or how many people you can refer.
So it's not like you can just go out and find a Tesla influencer with a million codes.
Right, it might not be that easy. And these referral codes, they often have expiration dates too.
Okay, so word to the wise, don't bank on those referral discounts unless you've got all the details. All right, what else we got? There's this whole other section here. It says potential additional savings, 0% APR, a military discount, a vehicle exchange program. Are we still talking about the same car here?
It's like they're throwing everything at the kitchen sink at this thing. But yeah, we got to be careful with these additional savings. They're often more, shall we say, conditional.
Okay, so like what kind of conditions are we talking about?
Well, take that 0% APR. That sounds great, right? Free money, basically.
Yeah, who doesn't like 0%?
But it almost always comes with specific loan terms. It could be a shorter loan period, maybe a higher down payment requirement.
Ah, okay, so you might end up paying more in the long run if you're not careful.
Exactly. Got to read that fine print. And then those discounts, like the military one and the vehicle exchange, those usually come with some pretty specific eligibility requirements.
Right, right. You can't just roll up with your grandpa's old Chevy and expect $6,000 off.
Probably not. Although you never know, maybe they're really into vintage Chevys these days.
Uh-huh, maybe. Okay, then there's this one last thing here, the Excel Energy Rebate. $5,500, that's no joke.
Yeah, utility companies are getting in on the EV incentive game now, too.
So what, they just like give you money for plugging in your car?
Something like that. But again, it's not always that straightforward. These utility rebates often have their own set of hoops to jump through. Could be tied to specific electricity plans, might be a longer application process, stuff like that.
Okay, so another one to research before you get too excited.
Definitely. But hey, on the plus side, you might end up with a lower electricity bill in the long run.
True, true. All right, we're almost at the end of these notes, but there's one more thing that's got me curious. It says, free FSD transfer. What in the world is an FSD transfer?
Ah, yes. The infamous FSD. That stands for full self-driving, by the way.
Okay, that makes sense. So is that like a free self-driving car upgrade?
Well, not exactly. Tesla's FSD is pretty advanced, but it's still considered a driver assistance system, not fully autonomous driving.
Okay, so you still got to keep your hands on the wheel.
For now, at least. But this transfer thing, it likely means inheriting the FSD software from a previous owner.
Interesting. So you're not actually getting it for free. You're just like inheriting it.
Right, essentially. But even then, important to know what you're getting into. Make sure you understand what's included, what the limitations are, and if there are any additional costs down the line.
Right, because free can sometimes come with hidden costs. All right, last but not least, we got to talk about gas savings. The notes say those haven't even been factored in yet.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about EVs. No more gas stations.
So how much are we actually talking about here? Like, how much can you really save on gas by going electric?
Well, it really depends on how much you drive, obviously, and what kind of car you're comparing it to. But in general, you're looking at some pretty significant savings.
Especially with gas prices being what they are these days.
Exactly. Of course, you'll have electricity costs to factor in for charging at home or at public stations.
Right, it's not like electricity is free.
Not yet, at least. But even with charging costs, most EV owners end up saving a decent amount of money compared to what they were spending on gas.
So we've covered a lot of ground here. We've got manufacturer discounts, tax credits, state rebates, utility incentives, referral programs. My head is spinning.
Yeah, it's a lot to keep track of, that's for sure. But the bottom line is this. Buying an EV today can be surprisingly affordable, but you gotta do your homework.
Don't just look at the sticker price and assume that's what you're going to pay.
Exactly. Do your research, read the fine print, make sure you understand all the incentives and programs that are out there, because you might be surprised at how much you can save.
Absolutely. All right, well, that's our deep dive for today. Hopefully you found this helpful and maybe you learned a thing or two about navigating the wild world of EV incentives.
And who knows, maybe you'll be driving off in your very own electric dream car sooner than you think.
And on that note, we'll see you next time.